Well, Mark, we've learned that the state's Workplace Safety Division has received 2 complaints this summer about this airport services company.
Well, Coach, I don't know if you've been following the Fever this season, but it's kind of tradition now to have the on-the-road coaches hit a victory dance after showing out on the Fever. I don't know, guys. Does Coach have a gritty on him or something? There you go, with the knees. Yeah, a little tutorial there. There you go, hit that. Yes, we are celebrating the winning culture here with Justin Stangler and his Wildcats. Let's give it up for Dubsy holding it down on the Fever.
They're absolutely to die for. Tram, you did ask me a couple of different questions last time we chatted, and the secret to a good tortilla is actually the ingredients, which we talked about. And Chris is over here giving them the full press. These are the OG, but Chris, you do a specialty tortilla every week. Talk to me about what customers are in for this week.
We are going to do the Monterey Jack-o'-lantern. So it's actually Monterey Jack cheese, pumpkin, and a little bit of pumpkin spice from another local vendor, Timbo's Seasonings. So that'll be a fun one.
And it doesn't stop there. You've got figs soaking in bourbon over there. I was like, hey, what's with the screwball, which is a type of whiskey.
Peanut butter whiskey.
You
the peanut butter whiskey is for my coffee.
Well, sure.
But the other bourbon is for the figgy spice. So
yes.
It's bourbon-soaked figs and pumpkin spice, butter, and brown sugar, all in a tortilla. It's a dessert style.
Unbelievable. We want you to stop working over here. Okay, you got 2 more to press. Press the last
we'll press
2.
the 2.
He throws them on the grill. It's over 500 degrees. And then, of course, Leah is flipping them off before they get the little burns, which are what exactly?
Quemaditas.
Little burns. And then they hit the cooling rack, and they sit on the cooling rack for about 3 minutes. And what do you do from here? I mean, this is pretty intricate. It reminds me a little bit of I Love Lucy. If you don't get them off the rack quick enough, they kind of start to pile up.
They will pile up if you don't get them off, but we will take those guys, we'll stick them in a plastic bag just like this, and then we can put just a little bit of vacuum to remove the extra air, and we'll seal this up, and they are good for about 2 weeks in your fridge from today.
Quemaditas, that's what that is. These are so cool, they're so good. You know what's really cool is you guys are waste not. Tell the general public here what that means and where the extras go.
Anything left over from the market or from our production during the day gets saved up and it's taken to the Genesis Project in Apache Junction. It's a nonprofit organization that feeds people every day, hot meal from 10 to 2.
Yeah, everybody in need. Super cool that you guys are continuing to give back. And he did tell me, he's like, you know, I can't ask people to support my particular business if I don't expect to support them. So we're going to have all the details for you on where all the local ingredients come from and what makes these tortillas so special and unique. And you can also find them, almost dumped them out, find them at the Gilbert Farmers Market. So yeah, Tram will bring these back for you.
Yes, don't dump it. All right, Rachel and Benny, thank you.
Rachel, today is not a good day to be in San Diego if you're visiting from out of town, which surprisingly, a lot of people are. SeaWorld's closed, the San Diego Zoo's closed, and this morning, the city of San Diego announced that even their beaches are closed because of the storm right above us, forcing many visitors to spend their day inside their hotel room.
Not a normal Sunday morning for sure.
As the storm moved in, not a lot of people wanted to spend the day at Mission Beach.
I mean, we've never had weather like this, but this is definitely no one's here.
The boardwalk starting to fill with water as rain came down for hours.
I slipped.
Several shops along the coastline putting out signs like this saying they're closed, with sandbags piled up against their doors.
And the weather is gonna, get worse here.
Kimberly Bailey is actually visiting from Arizona. While she wishes her family's vacation was a little bit sunnier and a lot more dry, she understands the precautions that are being taken.
I feel like it's a responsible thing to do.
Telling us she didn't plan on being outside much longer.
I'm gonna grab some coffee and go back to our Airbnb and stay out of this.
While Bailey knew this was coming, other visitors didn't.
I knew there was rain. I didn't really know there was a hurricane.
And some had no choice but to extend their vacation.
They canceled our flight, so we can't get a flight out till Tuesday morning.
On Sunday morning, the city of San Diego also announced all beaches were closed until Tuesday. But that didn't stop a few surfers from heading out into the water.
We're just trying to catch this hurricane swell.
Joseph Chazen is one of them.
We live for these moments when big storms come through.
So just because it's closed, that's not going to deter you?
No, not at all.
People wind and kite surfing as the rain continued to pour and the winds picked up, knowing the potential dangers that could come with it. Now, we have seen San Diego police cruisers like this one and also lifeguards patrolling the area, but it appears they're not really enforcing the beach being closed. However, those surfers told us that if anyone comes up to them and tells them that they need to leave, they will. We're in San Diego at Mission Beach. Chase Golightly, 12 News.
Guys, getting tickets to the World Series is not easy and it is not cheap, which is how you know that this is so much more than just a game for many of the fans here. Witnessing a World Series doesn't happen often.
I got in Saturday evening.
Which is why Clayton Callahan flew all the way from Virginia to be here.
And I actually fly out tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.
His mom, Kelly, is from Arizona, and he's been a Diamondbacks fan since 2000, the year he was born.
I was exhausted. I'm watching the boys play and just embracing the chaos no matter what. We're diehard fans since day one.
Gabriel Rivera and Annette Miramontes made the 4-hour drive from Douglas.
We're representing Douglas for all the people watching out there.
Celebrating their 26-year anniversary.
We crossed out Cancun, crossed out Hawaii. Let's go to the World Series, babe. This moment means more than anything to me.
And it's a moment Dominic Hernandez is sharing with his son, MJ.
I brought the only person in the world that I could see here with me, and that's my baby boy.
Dominic was 19 in 2001 and couldn't make it to a game, but today he did.
I'm so excited. I don't think you can imagine it. I'm so happy to be here today.
This father-daughter duo showed up hours early.
To see us here red is so heartwarming. It's awesome.
And they remember watching the 2001 World Series together.
They win the World Series, and I looked at my dad. I said, Dad, I want to play baseball. He says, you mean softball, right? I'm like, no, Dad, the Diamondbacks don't play softball.
Fans unsure when they'll get to take in a game like this again.
Just brought a tear to my eyes. It's doing right now.
Making memories that will last a lifetime, soaking up every second.
It's a dream come true, honestly. It truly is.
And despite the D-backs loss, it was a night they'll never forget. We're at Chase Field. Bianca Bono, 12 News.
This is a live look at El Grito, Phoenix, an event that celebrates Mexican Independence Day, which is actually tomorrow.
And that event happens every year. Around this time, attendees enjoy dancing, Mexican wrestlers, and of course, lots of food and music. Oh, the ceremony happens every year in Mexico City. El Grito is a tribute to the battle cry that launched a rebellion in 1810, leading to Mexico's freedom from Spain.
Just that I'm proud to be Mexican, like and a Mexican American. More people are coming to celebrate this day.
Getting to celebrate this in the States with our families who come from Mexico means a lot because it's like bringing a bit of their home here.
Look at that. It's such a fun event, and if you hurry, you might be able to catch the tail end of it. Things are set to wrap up about 11 o'clock.
All right, what time are we done here?
Just about 13 more minutes.
All right.
Travis Ward has been kayaking for about a year now.
Doing a lot of golfing and got expensive, so needed to find a new hobby, right?
Living near Lake Pleasant, he goes out often.
Almost every weekend thing.
He loves being able to glide along the water and see the beautiful desert scenery.
For me, it's just connecting to nature.
And last week, when he got out of his truck and set his kayak by the water, he had a real connection with nature.
At that point, I had noticed 2 donkeys coming towards me.
When this one started approaching him, he's always seen donkeys out at the lake, but not this close. It's when he realized something was wrong.
He got closer and I saw that there were thorns in his nose and his ear as well.
Spines likely from the thousands of saguaros that surround Lake Pleasant.
I could just tell he was in pain.
Ward believing this animal was asking for help.
I realized he was in trouble. And so I was like, oh, you know, maybe he wants me to take him out.
Ward slowly moving toward the donkey and started plucking each one out one by one.
It's okay. He was being very still, very calm, and he just let me get all of them out.
After pulling out about 40 thorns,
good boy,
he told us the donkey thanked him in its own way.
He does the donkey noise for about a minute, and then he takes off.
A moment, Ward says, he will never forget.
I felt really good after.
Taking in the moment of helping a creature in need before getting out on the water.
It's always nice to help, whether it's a person or an animal.
Ward tells us the next time he's at Lake Pleasant and sees some of these guys, he's always going to think of the time he helped one of them out. We're at Lake Pleasant. Chase Golightly, 12 News.